Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in on a very sort of esoteric or elusive concept, and that is psychopathic projection of energy. Yes, I said that, psychopathic projection of energy. A way for them to sort of emanate and control innocent bystanders or innocent others, really kind of exploiting their innocence, exploiting their vulnerabilities to belong, to fit in, to join in, to contribute, exploiting that very core basic need to get along with others. Exploiting that need and that natural desire, that inclination that is part of being, around them, and projecting their energy out so that it has a way of controlling them, controlling their perspective, controlling what they're looking at, what they're feeling, and the meaning with which these items, these experiences, these people hold. So it's almost like a lens. When the psychopath will project their energy, they'll project an energetic field, if you will, and by their language, which oftentimes the format is not grammatically correct, or what you might call word salad, which is a term that is a psychological term used for when people have dementia and they speak things that are kind of rambled or out of order or don't make sense. The psychopath and their lack of empathy and their lack of conscience will use this sort of, psychopathic word salad and make statements or sort of, what I would call cryptic statements, or, an enigma, meaning a puzzle, very puzzling language combined with a projection of energy, the way that they throw their body, the way that they speak, the way that they're sort of conducting or presenting themselves, or their language. Will then twist and contort through their energy the meaning ascribed to things. So, an emergency exit is no longer an emergency exit. The lights above an emergency exit no longer just seem like lights. They're projected to represent something else, like 2 coins, or 2 breasts, or 2 plates. Like, it sounds very, very strange, but I'm going to go there because I think a lot of people have been very scared by this experience and have resulted, CPSD, are rendered helpless because they have been a victim of this psychopathic projection of energy. So it's sort of a twisting and a contorting of the way that they use their psychopathic word salad, and twist and use cryptic language so that the sensations that you experience then are oftentimes pleasurable or enticing, or you've been seduced to in the beginning. So it might have started out with a love bombing or whatever it is that you had experienced in the beginning. It's love bombing, but you were kind of swept up, gone with the wind, gone with the energy, gone with the sun, gone with the cowboy, whatever it is, gone with the honey, whatever it is that you had swept you off your feet. This was the psychopathic projection of energy in the beginning of the gaslighting and a beginning of the psychological hijacking with which they control others. So in controlling others, in the beginning it might have been pleasurable because you feel, oh, here I've met this great friend, I've met this great guy, this great gal, or my family member, or this boss, or my neighbor, whoever you met them in a bar, a restaurant, movies, who knows, mall, I don't know where you met them, maybe your workplace, but wow, here's this really unique individual. They're so funny, they're so charming, they're so delightful. I feel like I'm on cloud 59 when I'm with them. SpaghettiOs. You are now in really sort of the cloud, or the tear gas, of the psychopath. And I use the term tear gas because if you've ever seen like police who try to control a mob, and they'll throw, I guess it's like a tear gas sort of bomb, or, spray it so that people, their eyes begin tearing up, and then, they fall to the ground because they can't see. So the psychopathic projection of their energy, I feel is very much like the same way. It's like an invisible tear gas where it all of a sudden kind of controls the room. It controls the environment, and it's an energy with which comes out of them. So just like when you see, sad, and I'll just use an equation here, a little, a person on the ground crying, you feel their energy. There's an energy feel around them. You feel, hurt. You can feel the sadness, or like when someone's very angry, you say you can feel their tension. So, what I'm describing here is a psychopathic presence with which you can feel this sort of very consuming energy, and that is projected out, meaning the psychopath will throw their energy, they will put their energy out there, and the way that they kind of move or jostle their energy around, and the way they juggle sort of people and statements in meaning of things attached to that in the environment, they'll twist and contort. And if you get this, it sounds very strange, but until someone has gone through it, it's, most people cannot relate. And you can just say in the bottom, comments, I get it, and it's very scary, and you don't have to be ashamed to admit it, because it can be very scary and it can be very daunting to try to get out of this. But a lot of people become, on different levels associated with this projection of energy. And projection is when they're using this sort of psychological hijacking or this positive energy to get people to go along with what they want. And then you've got the psychopathic positioning where they're then positioning themselves in specific areas to socially engineer what it is that they want. In the image that they want to present, and not in an uplifting, positive manner, but in a more disempowering or negative or poisonous manner. In other words, the people who hypersexualize, sexualize everything. Everything becomes sexualized. Meaning of things no longer holds its regular meaning. Water no longer becomes water. Glass no longer becomes a glass. Different things are projected out of the presence, and people become under their control. And some people, who've been lonely or don't feel acknowledged, they are very easily targeted and manipulated by these people, because here they say, oh wow, I've now found a great friend, or here now I've met a great person, who takes me to lunch or takes me to vacation or gives me these gifts or seems to be so cool, calm, and collected when other people seem to be so hot under the collar. So, there's all sorts of reasons and excuses where you might have given to this person in the beginning and got seduced in and sucked in. But then, this sort of hyper projection occurs, and they can have a tremendous amount of energy. The psychopath can have, it's a very piercing energy in the presence. The eyes can be very piercing. A lot of people here on the channel, they say the eyes can be very dead and cold. It depends on what they want to project. So, a lot of people say the psychopathic gaze can, that it's, people feel it, and it's very reptilian in nature. In other words, very predatory-like. And so you feel like all of a sudden you've been preyed upon. You can feel it. You can see it. You can sense it. You can know it. And a lot of people tend to feel this in the beginning, like it is very, they're very drawn in. Oh, this woman captivated me with her look. This man, was so seductive in his charm and his gaze. And it's not just, desiring to, connect with you. It's desiring to overpower you. It's a very, very different thing. A psychopath is a very definitive individual and antisocial in nature. Predatory in nature is their presence. So those people who want to belong, who want to be a part of, can be very easily and quickly seduced by this person because they are preying on them. They are getting them in their reign of control. Very much like a fascist, or I don't know what you call those, dictators who, want to have unyielding adherence to their control and their command. So they can, I think, we know that the very horrible, political Hitlers of the past, there you go. It's disgusting. It's horrible. what the atrocities, with which they hurt these people and take innocent others and destroy their innocence. But it is in a very, very discreet presence with which you want to understand, with which they project and emanate or push out. So you have to be very, very careful and get away from these people. When I say get away, I mean get away, run away, move away, do not live with, do not work with, do not associate with, do not think about, do not search, get them out of your cortex, get them out of your heart, get them out of your body, get away from them. There is no better price you can put on your freedom than your freedom. I mean, get your freedom and your liberty and your sanity back at all costs. So, as tough a pill to swallow as that might be, that is what needs to occur to get away from the psychopathic projection. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.